morning, evening, afternoon. I'm Tina Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we're playing the heroic legends of Eagarlnia. Well, this will be my special lore episode of all the heroes I've previously gotten that I haven't read the lore of. So the ones from Inno's country and grammar, because I will soon take over another one. I might as well read the lore of these ones for anybody who's interested. I have been gone for a while due to some technical difficulties, and I am currently using a backup computer, so no webcams and whatnot, but yeah, I decided to make a special little video for now, and we'll see how that goes. So, and I plan on taking over Islet or whatever it's called, because I'm really tired of them attacking me. Okay, so I'm going to have more heroes soon, and I might as well read these ones off. I don't know how many people actually care about the lore, but I kind of care about the lore. So just in case other people do too, I'll start reading off the story, because that's kind of the only story this game gives you, other than the random stuff I make up. The grudges I end up having with countries that I form on my own. So so many names I get to butcher. Awesome. Victor Maze. I don't know why I went that accent. Maze. Victor, the Duke of Grammar. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. You caused me so much trouble. Like, seriously. A brilliant statesman is a high-ranking archmage who possesses strong magical prowess. During his childhood, our Victor was discovered to be a prodigy of magic, and proceeded to take his studies to the Lauren Spire. There, his phenomenal talents were swiftly noticed by the Mage Guild, called the Silver Key, leading to him joining the organization. However, he later rescinded his membership. Okay. Later, he just left the guild, I guess, from the group, as their goals did not align with his own. In a good way or a bad way. Were they evil or was he evil? That's the question. Little scooch. There we go. Rather than dedicating his life efforts into pursuing the illusory ultimate gate, as most mages did. Oh, well, of course. I don't know what that is. Our Victor decided to instead spend his time acquiring political power within the Estoltian Empire. Over the course of many years, he accumulated significant influence over the nation of Grammar, and worked to improve the Lauren Spire's status and reputation. I scrolled up too far. For many years, the Lauren Spire, I'm probably saying that wrong, Lauren Spire maintained the highest prestige among all schools of wizardry, drawing aspiring mages all across Eagarlnia to pursue their dreams in grammar. However, the Nordelus Institute, established by royal family of Islot. Oh wait, isn't that who I'm fighting? Or am I fighting someone else? Began to churn out talent. Is that why they're mad at me? Because I took over grammar? Began to churn out talents of their own. With their vastly different approaches to magic. As a result, the academic competition between the two schools ultimately created a deep rift between the House of Maze and the king. I just went up a bit. Well, that's not good. You can't mess with the king. The kings are very finicky. Everybody knows this. Watch any period drama ever. In today's most turbulent era, our victor believes that this nation will replace the Estolatian Empire for mere flames of glory have long since been extinguished. Long live grammar. Sir. The future empire of magic. Well, about that. About the long live grammar thing. So what had happened was they went after the wrong people, because I didn't do anything to grammar. They just kind of decided that I was their enemy all on their own. I guess that was their thing. Schleider. Occupied. I don't know what they're occupied with. Are they all occupied? I don't remember them doing anything. Maybe they're in the barracks or something. I don't know. Does it tell me their original country? I know it says reclamation now because I reclaimed. Schleider Craft. Schleider is the first son of the House of Craft, much like his younger brother, Navart. Navart? Isn't Navart one of... He was one of mine. I think. Yeah, I don't know the names of my people. Except for Theodore. Because I like him. He does things. He rigorously... I only know the names of the ones that are efficient at the things I tell them to do. He rigorously trained for combat during his childhood and was sent to acquire an education at Sale College at the family's behest. And went too far. When he returned to the Empire at the age of 20, the Crafts had arranged for Schleider to become a core member of the country's political circle. As the eldest son, he accepted his duties as part of the family tradition, while Navart pursued different career paths away from politics to the House of Craft. Schleider is one of their most important political assets. A rook, strategically poised to replace Ravati, Bert. I remember that name. The Empire's famed Grand Marshal. That's not why, it's just a name that I remember. Considered one of the most brilliant men of his generation, Schneider is gifted with both outstanding political and military talents, making him a formidable force to reckon with on either end. Not only is he superb in exercising his political strength, but it is even said that his combat proficiency rivals that of Princess Lina. Excuse me? How dare you? I'm a queen now, I assume. Right? I mean, technically, aren't I? Am I not a queen yet? I'd assume I am. I took my country back. I haven't had a coronation though. Kind of a queen. Yeah, Navarre. I've had you, right? Were you one of the people I've had for a while? I feel like you were. Because you were like, my brother didn't do that. Or something like that. No. Yeah, I think so. One of you was like, maybe it was my father didn't do that. I don't remember. I guess Ellie. I think it was you. You are new. Oh, tell me about you. Castlebury Barb. Castlebury Barb is a Lanelary ranger who grew up alongside her younger sister in the Echo Forest. One day her sister mysteriously vanished from their peaceful home and was nowhere to be found. She frantically searched the entirety of the Echo Forest with the help of her people, but there was neither a tangible trace nor clue of her sister's whereabouts. As the Lanelary were not keen on extending their search beyond the Echo Forest, Castlebury decided to take matters into her own hands by embarking on a journey alone. Shortly after leaving the territories of Eagarlnia, she encountered the Samurai elf Skahan Whistleblade, who was temporarily separated from his traveling companion, Lord Eris Freston, due to the long-running ethnic feud. Oh, of course there's one of those. Because why not? That existed between the Lanelary and the Samalites. A clash between these two was more than inevitable. As their eyes met, both elves were instantly put on edge and quickly drew their weapons without thinking. Castlebury was first to strike, firing a quick shot aimed for her opponent's heart. The dark elf deftly avoided the attack before making his advance at a speed she was not expecting. In a span of a few moments, the gap between them was closed, forcing Calibre to vault backwards behind cover. She released a few. Okay, this is like I don't need to know this. She released a fusillade of arrows as she retreated, though they were all cut down with deflected by Skahan's blades. It appeared that she had quite the fight in her hand. It could have been she attacked first, they had quite the fight, all of her arrows were cut down, you know, like I didn't need all of this flippity floppity. The battle raged on, with Calibre mostly on the run, and Skahan hot in pursuit. The way he maneuvered through the forestry like a flickering shadow made it extremely difficult to get any good shots in, for he seemed to be everywhere, yet nowhere at the same time. Whenever she fired an arrow, it would get cut down, and whenever she retreated, he was never more than a step behind her. What was strange, though, was how he always approached her unarmed, seeming to only use his blade when forced to deal with her arrows. Whether or not this was an insult to her combat capabilities, she was not sure. Unfortunately, the duel had dragged on for too long, and Calibre found herself quite beaten and absolutely exhausted. She simply could not keep up with her agile opponent. But rather than take this golden opportunity to end her life, Skahan kept some distance between them as she slowly recovered her strength. Both his blades remained sheathed. In the unspoken language of combat, their encounter forced Calibre to come to terms with two distinct facts. One, she was 1,000 years too young to actually challenge her opponent. And two, Skahan had no intention to bring her any serious harm. Calibre's silent and very passive opponent greatly intrigued her, as he went against that's usually how it works, went against every possible expectation she had for his kind, due to her overwhelming curiosity for this anomaly named Skahan. She decided to tag along with him on his adventures to get a better understanding of his character. As for Skahan, he didn't have much of a story to tell when he finally regrouped with Eris. See, I feel like that was probably entirely too long. Wow. Alright. Navali, Minerva, Eric. Eric, tell me more about you. Eric Mays. Are you what's-his-face's son? Eric, the Earl of Zeron, is the eldest son of the House of Mace. Is a high-ranking mage who is acknowledged as the successor of the nation of Grammar. Since he possesses differing political ideologies to his father, he patiently awaits the opportunity to bring great changes to his country. Early in his childhood, Eric feared that the dedication required to learn and master the magical arts would deprive him of his precious time of youth, causing him to withdraw from school of the wizardry. No, he didn't go to Hogwarts. He didn't want to go. The pursuit of adventure served as his form of escapism, where he masqueraded around the land of Laud as a master archmage, but deep in his heart, Eric yearned to truly learn the coveted arts of magic, just as his father had during his own youth. Did he go to Hogwarts after all? During his travels, he had the honor of meeting Princess Lina and her fellow Sir Knights, her Sir Knight companions, Navart Craft and Ladis Flame, where the four agreed to form an adventure party together. As the magic of the group, the mage of the group, Eric was tasked to, so they knew each other before, okay. Eric was tasked to support his companions from distance with a vast library of utilities that naturally came with being fluent in the magical arts. His phenomenal aptitude in magic, or lack thereof, would often play such a pivotal role during their quests that his party members couldn't help but take notice of his outstanding performance. In honor of this monumental magical achievements, Navart declared him the greatest archmage of all time. After the group resolved the mystery behind the deadly epidemic that swept over the village of Jamil near Everwinter Castle, Eric chose to stay behind to help its citizens recover from the event. He took in orphans who had lost their parents to the affliction, teaching them what knowledge he possessed, as well as looking after their well-being, even long after his departure from the small village. The stories he shared left a lasting impression on the young children of Jamil. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's French, but I am. And at this point, everyone has become very familiar with the legend of the greatest archmage and his extraordinary companions. After 4 long years of running away from himself, Eric finally returned home to take his education in magic seriously. It turned out that he actually possessed a natural aptitude for it, which helped propel him to become the high-ranking mage he currently is today. Oh, okay. See, that was kind of nice. See, that was a good one. Then the other one was a bit dragged out. Rocky. Okay, Rocky. I don't remember where I got you from. Just Rocky Gray. Rocky was a servant at the house of Gran and Alice Bell's personal bodyguard. An orphanate youth, the house of Gran adopted him into the family after recognizing his hidden potential and talents, assigning him the lifetime role of protecting the younger Lady Alice Bell. Due to being a similar age, however, their relationship was more akin to being childhood friends or siblings, or even siblings, as opposed to master and servant. Oh, that much is there. When the Nubidians stormed the royal capital of Percival, however, Rocky was separated from Alice Bell. Guilt-ridden, he holds himself accountable for not remaining at his charge's side, and is unsure she still lives, despite his failures as a guard. The end. He continues to search high and low, under the assumption that the maiden, a Gran, is still alive and well. Maybe she's with Nubidia. Who knows? Vincent, you are new. You look like you're a playboy. You don't have much written either. Vincent is a man. Vincent Ryan. He has even a playboy name. Vincent is a man of great vision and insight. Possesses excellent skills in both marksmanship and swordsmanship. He was once an adventurer who set off from Eagarlnia of the Almond Islands, traveling all around the land of Laud through regular cooperation with the House of Cisnir. Vincent was able to continue funding his extensive and distant travels and became well acquainted with Krishna, whom he gradually took a fancy to. The end of his adventure, Vincent arrived at the royal capital of Percival and became a valuable subordinate to Krishna. Do I have Krishna? I do have Krishna. Anicia White, I read that one. You. Who are you? Eagarlnia. Oh, you have a bit of a thing. Okay. Eagarlnia, born in Eagarlnia, born in Eagarlnia's Smith family, was born with white hair, which was regarded as unlucky, which also made her introverted. She is. Oh, that's why she's like, why is everyone scared of me? I thought she was actually like, why is that? Like she was actually like, maybe not nice. And she's like, I don't understand. I'm just a little bit evil. But no, she's like genuinely like, I don't get why I just look like this. Oh, right. Continuing. Which is unlucky. Which also made her introverted. Withdrawal and lack of confidence. With the growth of her age, Eagarlnia, her name is Eagarlnia. Why is it spelled differently there? This one has a Y. Lalyona. And there is Alona. Alona's character has not changed. And she's not even willing to go. Wait, is it different in like how? Nope. I just now noticed the Y stuff there. No, right, her name is Alona. Oh, poor Alona. She's always alone. I'll be nicer to her. No, I won't. As long as she's useful. Has not changed, and she's not even willing to go to the temple of Inanna. Inanna to practice like other people of the same age. Over time, her autism? What? What? Apparently she's also autistic. Okay, her autism attracted the attention of the temple. Finally, she was defined as heretical crime. Not like a heretic criminal. Okay. By the temple. It was ridiculous that her family recognized and I feel like this part's oddly translated, and followed the will of the temple and decided to send her to the temple for purification. Okay. I don't know if that's right, but although Alona's character is flawed, it does not mean that she will despise her life. And she also has to thank herself for being isolated all the year around, which naturally gives her protective film called No Sense of Existence. Okay, she successfully escaped from the eyes of her family and guards. Although Alona's, yeah, I read that, yeah, that was... Eagarlnia went all the way north because she stopped at Ymir village near, I don't know if this is correctly done, Ymir, a Ymir village near Yongdongbao. Ymir, okay, where is that? The villagers took her in and treated her, okay. Let's stop there. Under the, this is kind of how I thought most of the lores would be written. Under the entreaties of many orphans in the village, Eagarlnia involuntarily participated in the game of urchins and inadvertently opens up her heart. Oh, later she heard the poem Top Wizard and Urchin. She was curious about what kind of top wizard could make the village that had been baptized by disaster smile again. So she decided to go to Grammar to meet the top wizard in person. What makes Eagarlnia even more unexpected is that after arriving in Grammar, she quickly attracted the top wizard to meet because of her rare magic power that she was born with, but was never detected for some reason. She was also absorbed and began her Lauren Wizard cultivation career. Okay. As she was absorbed. As far as Eagarlnia's rare magic power is concerned, it has a mana with the effect of invisibility and silence. This power has only been seen in the very ancient magic books and is almost lost. Therefore, she was told to study the power hidden in her body. And at the same time, she was also told to do a good job at concealment so that she could not easily be detected by others. That was a hard one to get through. Also, I don't know if that she's actually autistic or if they just mistranslated that. But so, I mean, cool that they're, you know, showing diversity in their games. Don't know if you'll ever really see that in her character because we don't see the characters do stuff. It doesn't. It's okay. I hope the others aren't as hard to read. Schiffer Zero. Somewhere in Zeron, there resided a young mage who achieved Archmage level spell mastery without ever leaving the confines of his own home. His name was Schiffer Zero, an absolute magical fanatic, and the only price he paid for his almighty power was cutting off all interaction with the outside world. But for a mage completely dedicated to their studies, this was simple enough. He even deemed the human concepts of bonds and attachment as unnecessary elements in life. So he's basically just like the hermit. Elements in life, for they served as nothing more than a distraction to what truly matters: magic. Oh great. One sunny afternoon, however, Schiffer was awakened by the crisp song of a bird from outside his home. When he turned to inspect what had made the sound, he spotted a blackbird perched in front of his window. Its eyes radiated with spiritual energy. Capturing the mage's rapt attention, according to what he read about them in his archives, the bird was a jackdaw, an avian creature said to inextricably link with magic. And just like that, an invisible bond connected the reclusive mage with the world he refused to acknowledge through this little bird. Schiffer would name the jackdaw after his childhood friend Ellen, for they both served as his sole connection to the world beyond his home. However, that was the extent of what he remembered of her. The mage couldn't remember when he stopped seeing Ellen, and even her appearance began to blur in what few memories he had left of their time together. On a whim, he entrusted the remnants of this sentiment to the jackdaw itself. Unfortunately, their days would soon be cut short by an accident caused by Shifter's research. Though they are bound to one another, it was not a blessing that tied them together, but a curse. While Shifter was studying and practicing the arts of petrification, the mage had accidentally petrified Ellen, who had remained perched on his staff. Is that his little bird? No, that's... Is that his birdie friend? Is he holding the staff? Or is that my reclamation? That might be my reclamation thing. Fusing the avian creature and object together. No matter what he tried, Schiffer was unable to undo the petrification spell and return Ellen to normal. Only at this moment did Schiffer realize the great limitation he placed upon himself through self-isolation. Ellen's petrification would serve as the mage's catalyst for change, as he finally made the decision to leave the boundaries of his home in order to save his avian friend. Schiffer took to the outside world in search of a new restorative method, though he would also discover many more magical secrets along the way. Did he save the bird? Did he save the bird? Is he still looking for a way to save the bird? I feel like that's my thing. Right there. Yeah, that's my thing. Pagno Wolf. This is going to be like a super long episode. Pagno, a senior member of the Forest Rangers. Go, go, Forest Rangers. Serves as an assistant to Sakan Whiteblade. He is a ranger with an excellent proficiency in archery, who has upheld the virtues of justice and compassion as youth, valuing his friends and comrades as much as he does his own life. For many years prior to joining the Forest Rangers, Pagano, there's an O at the end of that, I don't know why I didn't add that. Pagano was a prolific cat burglar and long-time social activist who operated in every city of the Eagarlnia, I'm going to send you to sabotage, empire. As part of a small crime syndicate, as someone born of the lower caste, he developed a deep hatred for the corrupt bureaucrats and nobility who exploited the citizens for their own personal gain. So his schemes were entirely centered around retrieving the rich of their materials. Now you're Robin Hooding it, material assets, and redistributing the wealth to the poor in return. While this life of crime proved to be an exhilarating venture, the dangers of living on the edge eventually caught up to him, and prices had to be paid. One of Pagano's explosions ended up stirring the hornet's nest that was the house of Machu. Wasn't Mocha Machu Mocha? Wasn't that one the people have? Angered by the syndicate's audacity, the Machus hired the very best assassins in Land of Laud had to offer in order to hunt down and exterminate the brazen thieves. Pagano's syndicate managed to escape to the Jade Forest, but were ultimately unable to make it out alive. The great cat burglar himself was gravely wounded and drawing closer to death as he helplessly watched his friends and comrades lose their lives one by one. Just when he was ready to accept his demise, a dark figure appeared. Tuxedo Mask immediately dispatched of all the hired assassins before he could even so much as blink. His savior was none other than the dark elf Sakan Whiteblade, who eventually managed to get him the medical care needed to make a full recovery in the city of Eagarlnia. As a means to convey his gratitude to the dark elf, Pagano joined the Forest Rangers that Sakan had led. However, the deaths of his syndicate members only further deepened his hatred for the upper castes, for they have not only taken from the common people, but the very lives of his friends as well. Pagano vowed to one day avenge their deaths and ensure their stories would not be forgotten. Okay then. It sounds cool. I don't really know which country you don't like. I can't really go after the Assassin's Guild. That was a thing, wasn't it? Krishna. The house of Sisnir became widely renowned after constructing the first engineering network, granting them intricate interpersonal connections across every country in the land of Lot. As the saying goes, traces of the Sisnir can be found anywhere, so long as the fire continues burning in a furnace. That's a long saying. As with all members of the house of Sisnir, Krishna is a disciple of Raidir, the craftsman, a god of valor, and became a senior priest by the age of 50 in the diplomatic arena. In the diplomatic arena of the empire, she utilizes her beauty and family's 50. Okay. Reputation to achieve her personal goals. The only reason she had even involved herself with Prince Eno's entourage is due to her love of Schleider. Oh, okay. Oh, that's why you wouldn't join me unless I had him in my party. Rome Steelhelm. Rome Steelhelm chose to leave his family after the events of a fierce family quarrel. While he also felt great unrest stirring in the mainlands, Rome strongly believed that there was no future for his clan if all they did was work day in and day out in their mountain home. He did not advocate for adopting a conservative mindset, asserting that such an unreliable mentality would only end badly for the dwarves. After his departure, Haham chose to explore the outside world and forge a new path for himself and the dwarves, aiming to prove the others wrong. And then you landed here. Izumir Maze. Oh, you have a shore. Izmir is the youngest daughter of the House of Maze, and an intermediate level mage studying within the Lauren Spire. Although our victor cares little for things outside the scope of politics and magic, she's the most favored of all his children. While she was enrolled in Civil College, she had a chance encounter with another woman named Laura Croft, who had recently experienced the pain of heartbreak. The two got along and spent a great deal of time together. which eventually led to Ismir falling in love with the future Saintess of Blades. No, good for you. Falling in love. Wait, do you love each other? Or is it one-sided? Like, are you together? Do I have her? Do I not have your girlfriend in my party, in my group? I don't think I have Laura Croft. Oh great. I have to find Laura. I have to find her. I must bring the two lovebirds together. At least I hope it's like lovebirds and like it's not one-sided, cause that's, oh man, love's one-sided love, man. It sucks. Inno. Let's see what you're, oh fuck, you have a long one. Okay, Inno. Abbas. My darling brother, who I assume is younger than me. Much like his older sister, Lina. Yeah. Much like his older sister, Lina, Prince Inno took an interest in the arts of weaponry and firearms in his youth. However, the difference between them was worlds apart, for the young prince could not match his sister's natural talents and skill compared in combat. Inno's personal competitions with Lina always ended miserably in his end, painting him as ungifted and ultimately unworthy to succeed the throne. Unfortunately, his unwillingness to submit and be outdone by his sister would foster a deep and bitter jealousy for her later in his life. As an adult, contentions between the two would rise by the day, further deteriorating their already fragile familial relationship. When the Numidians stormed the royal capital of Percival, the Abbasian prince fled to Mescaline under the protection of the Imperial Guard. Here he received support from numerous political figures who upheld traditional ideals like women can't rule, though they each possess their own sinister motives and agendas. Undeterred, Inno intended to use their political power to declare his legitimacy as heir to the throne. With their assistance, he was able to officially oppose Lina's right to succession and began contesting for the throne. Except for it's mine, it's my throne. I beat you. Fuck you. My throne. My crown. Me. Me. I cared about the people. You did fuck all. Godfrey. I'm plotting to go against Numidia. What did you do? You didn't do nothing. I got Percival back. You did what? What'd you do? You didn't do jack. Just saying. I'm better. Godfrey Baron. Grandmaster Godfrey is an honest and impartial gentleman of great vision, who served as heiress swordsmanship mentor in the past. He was also an adventurer, During his youth, prior to taking office as a governor of Adas. Well, Eris, who is Eris, and do I have Eris? I feel like I should, and I don't. While Eris went on an adventure of his own, Godfrey was assigned to be in charge over the nation's political affairs under his governess. Alice held and maintained excellent relationships with their neighbors and powers and ensured a prosperous life for their people. No, they did not. Because I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. And they attacked me. Unless it was Inno. Inno didn't actually really, he sabotaged me a bit. But I, quite frankly, just didn't like him. Because the story told me he does mean. Nor. Villa Locke is a commander who was stationed, he has a lackluster character ability, poor thing. Villa Locke is a commander who was stationed in Moria Castle when the Numidians launched their attack, bravely mobilized her troops to fight off the invaders who were fast approaching Moria under the orders of General Cocktree. However, she was forcibly pulled out of the front line as part of his family's secret strategy in running away. The deserters of Moria managed to elude their pursuers and traveled west. However, they quickly realized that they needed money, which resulted in them joining up with the infamous bandit Scarlet Tigerfang. Under the Tigerfang outlaws, the Orc organized their very first raid and found an unsuspecting target to dispatch. Unfortunately, everyone except Villa had no idea as to who they were exactly dealing with. The target wore makeup and had piercing red eyes, which would have been fine had not been for the fact that she also donned the attire of a Constantinian legionary. Their fates were sealed the moment they chose to attack her, but Villa, being the more cautious and level-headed of the group, opted to observe instead. The woman had no issue fending off their uncoordinated assaults, and it was then when everything clicked for Villa. Her grandmother had once told her of a story called The Valkyrie, which, I know I'm not saying Valkyrie correctly, that's how I've always said Valkyrie. It spoke over a legendary female warrior from Constante named Eagarlnia. The target they chose that day was none other than the heroine herself. Outmatched and realizing who she was, Villa willingly swore fealty to the former Constantinian legionary, choosing to follow whatever Eagarlnia believed was right. Okay. I like how they are mentioning people I don't even have You see, this episode is going to be way longer than I thought it would be, because I thought most of these things were going to be shorter, and some of them are way long. Laudier Hansen. I'm sure you're one of the people that Wolfie does not like. Laudier is a tireless butler. Oh, you're a butler. You're just overly dressed. He's a tireless butler, loyal assistant and personal advisor of the House of Mace. But that's only scratching the surface of his duties and talents. Not only is he a merchant with excellent business savvy, Laudier serves as an excellent caretaker of properties for the family of that he dutifully serves, and is even trained for combat should the situation call for it, of course. I feel like if I had a butler, I'd want him also to know how to fight. Just, you know, you never know. If you're rich enough to have a butler, you're probably rich enough to need a bodyguard. Harmon. Oh, you look like a dick. I hope you're not a butler. Like, what kind of butler looks like that? Harmon Machu. Machu! Your story is long. Is it because I have you and Wolfie? Tell you what, Wolfie, I'll have him do the dumb shit. I'll have him do all the things that I don't really need people like searching for stuff. Harmon is a current financial administrator in the House of Machu. Having expanded his family enterprise to as far as the Constantinian Empire, he possesses a brilliant business acumen that makes him nigh invincible in the business world. As the Ministry of Finance, however, Harmon was an absolute menace in the Eagarlnia Empire. He has not only used the country's resources to further expand his businesses, but also betrayed national interests time and time again for personal gain. Oh. Unfortunately, the shrewd Harmon has long known of this Lotian Empire's impending collapse. Everything he has done thus far was to ensure his family enterprise would not be dragged down in the grave alongside the very nation he exploited. He's a piece of work, ain't he? Thomas Mocha. Alright, Mocha. I like that your name is Mocha. Thomas once served as one of the two commanders of the Larburgian Cavalry Division alongside Vladislav. Don't know who that is. Although he left the nation for reasons unknown, his rich battle experience and situational awareness were an absolute blessing for the Larburgian Cavalry Legions, where he was recognized as a master tactician. Under his command, Thomas's cavalry were always able to quickly adapt to their situations thanks to his ability to coordinate his troops in the midst of battle, no matter how chaotic it would be. I assume he's not in my thingy. Sheila Dahen. Oh yeah, I have a thing. Sheila is a confident woman with a rather inflated ego. When praised for literally anything, she is quick to reply with something along the lines of, "Such is only natural for someone of my caliber." While many get the impression that she's merely boasting, she's not afraid to put her money where their mouth is. She possesses an aggressive and sarcastic attitude when speaking, but her intentions are not wicked in nature. As a matter of fact, Sheila will readily grant requests and gives her absolute best efforts when helping those who genuinely seek her help, so long as they acknowledge her superiority first. Okay, Sheila. Leon Sunset. Leon is a twin brother of Lindsay Sunset. They share a nearly exact same personalities, behaviors, and mindsets. That's not creepy at all. As if they were a complete mirror images of each other. Due to this, it is extremely difficult for others to discern any differences between them beyond their appearance. Celeste serves as one of the Celestial women. Celeste serves as one of the guardians of the Grim Forest and is the second youngest of her sisters, as the most diligent and dependable among them. She applies the most effort in her duties, bringing in the largest hauls after their mining trips and doing nearly all the household chores. She loves her kind, talkative sister, Greepum, as she always cheers her on. When Celeste is busy with the housework, however, she hates her older sister, Silpa, because she always steals her bed out of convenience. Okay. Chaselin. Chaselin cultivates a unique strain of black lotus, whose power can completely reverse a person's heart. She can turn good-natured individuals towards evil, force diligent to become lazy, and cause lovers to despise each other. Such change brings great joy to Chaselin due to the fickle nature of the heart, and all she does is merely facilitate the process. If an individual possesses firm resolve, then they will not easily fall prey to its powerful influence, however, whether it brings better or worse change, is dependent on one's own luck. You just like fucking with people, basically. Basav? Basav, you look like tall woman. Basav, tall woman. Oh, you're the same character with different hair. Basav serves as one of the guardians of the Grand Forest and the third younger sister of the sisters. Although she is a rather irritable and grumpy person, her older sister Harperly is the only one who can pacify her anger, no matter how temperamental she gets. In addition to never getting angry with Harperly, she loves the smell of her older sister's perfume and admires her beauty. However, she hates her hard-working sister Celeste the most because she is a single gram heavier than she is. Oh my goodness. You guys are awful. Stephen Sheba. Stephen is a messenger who quickly travels around the streets and roads across many cities throughout the land of Lot. Even in the midst of the chaos the world has been plunged into, he refuses to give up this duty and responsibility as a messenger. In order to ensure the safety of his letters and packages, Stephen always prepares with both the journey and destination in mind before quickly setting off. Where there's letters, there's a delivery. The motto of Stephen Sheba. Okay, maybe you'll be good at searching the cities. Titan Bone Arrow. Titan believes that the sharpest and most deadliest weapons are fashioned strictly from the ribs of a living thing. He collects the ribs of his enemies, carves them into arrows, and then uses them to hunt down other people or creatures to repeat the cycle. You're very consistent, aren't you? Okay. So that's who I have. And that is the gist of everybody, because I read everything else. I've read everyone else's stuff. Clearly I'm missing some people. And that is all how many people I have.